Hi there. In this video, I'm going to be looking at the critical issues in business success and failure, but more specifically looking at competitive advantage, avoiding overextension in finance and other resources, using technology, and the economic conditions. So firstly, we're going to look at identifying and sustaining competitive advantage. Now, competitive advantage is a strategy whereby a business tries to gain an edge over its competitors. Okay, so trying to stay ahead of its competitors. And one way you can do that is through the price cost strategy. Basically, where a business reduces its production costs, thus leading to lower prices for consumers, so therefore making them a more attractive option than competitors. However, the trick here though is for the business to try and maintain its current higher levels of quality, because there's nothing worse for a business than to have low quality, and then have customers complain, have customers have issues with it, and then they go to the competitors because they've got better quality. Because in the end, doesn't matter how cheap it is, if they need a replace or if they have a bad experience with the business, they'll go somewhere else. Another way a business can maintain competitive advantage is through differentiation strategy. Basically offers customers something that other businesses simply don't have. Okay, so if you've got something totally different, totally new, totally removed from what competitors have, then you're going to get a new market, basically. And if you can keep that, then you'll not only entice new customers, but you'll keep your current ones as well. Okay, establish that brand loyalty. Now, in order to ensure long-term success, a business needs to limit the advancements of competitors. Okay, stay one step ahead of competitors. If your competitor brings out a new product once a month, then you need to bring out maybe 2 new products once a month. If your competitor puts in $1 million worth of advertising for a product, then you need to put in $2 million worth of advertising for your product. Okay, try and stay one step ahead. Okay, by limiting their advances. Okay, the more advances you put in, the less they have. You'll keep your competitive edge. Now, another thing you need to do is avoid overextension of finance and other resources. So, some business owners, particularly during the establishment and the growth stage of the business life cycle, they overextend. Okay, they grow too quick. Okay. Now, some ways to overextend on finance is to actually have a business plan. Obviously, avoid depending too much on debt. Okay, avoid taking out large loans from the bank where you might not be able to pay. Okay, and having a long-term financial plan, so actually having not just a couple of months in mind, but a few years in mind in terms of where's your money coming from and how you're going to repay it. And start small. Don't start with five shops in the first month of operation. Start small. Start with one. Build a loyal customer base. Okay, generate positive cash flow. Then you can keep moving. Okay, you can keep growing then. A way to avoid overextension on stock is to keep limited supplies, order regularly. Now, this might, however, lead to increased costs, because rather than buying, items in bulk and having it stored somewhere, you might need to order more regularly. So smaller shipments will then cost more. However, the big idea is to avoid overextending. You also don't want a warehouse with stock that customers may or may not want, particularly if you're dealing with technology that might change so rapidly. By the time it gets to your warehouse, it's already obsolete, and now you're sitting on a whole bunch of stuff that no one really wants. Okay? And a way to overextend on staff is to outsource. Okay? Rather than having 10 employees and 5 of them are sitting there doing nothing because there's nothing for them to do, outsource. Okay? Hire another business or send it outside your business for them to do that work, or automate. Okay, bring in robots, bring in automation. Okay, to do the work of humans. Okay, you can easily shut them off. You can easily replace them. You can easily repair them. Okay, as opposed to staff. And then also using technology. It's ever expanding, ever changing. It allows businesses to trade in a number of ways. Okay, for example, we've got e-business, which is using the internet to conduct the business, so through email, through Skype, conference calling, and that then leads to the idea of e-commerce, so the buying and selling of goods and services via the internet, which is something that's growing exponentially okay, every month. Okay, it's a very big booming area where businesses need to work out, okay, well, if this is what all my competitors are doing, they're having a website where you can buy stuff, then why aren't we? Okay, that's an issue in their success and failure. Again, and that goes back to maintaining the competitive advantage. Okay, staying one step ahead. So if they're doing something, you need to do it as well. Okay, and not only do it as well, but you need to do it better than them, and you need to do it more regularly. Okay, and then finally we've got economic conditions. Now, there's no certainties in life. Okay, things can happen, and economies go up and down. Okay, they fluctuate, and they're going to experience these periods of boom and recession. Now, in periods where there's strong economic activity, okay, spending by consumers goes up. More goods and services are sold. You're going to be making a lot more things because of people buying more things, and profits are going up. Okay. However, on the flip side of that is when there's weak economic activity, the amount of money consumers spend goes down because they need to then buy staples. So bread, milk, eggs, pay rent, so things to just keep them alive rather than luxury goods. So the sales of goods and services goes down, production therefore goes down, people start to lose money, profits are falling, and that's looking here in terms of the issues in success and failure is that if you fail to plan for the periods of weak economic activity, you will fail regardless of the level of economic activity. So if the level of economic activity goes down, yeah, you might fail as a business because all of a sudden people aren't buying your things. But if you manage to plan for it before it happens, you might just stand a chance. So I hope this brief video has given you enough information to understand competitive advantage, overextension, technology use, and economic conditions as an element of success and failure for businesses. Thank you.